What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about Polestar. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what is really moving it higher today, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that said, let's get right to it. So at the time of doing this video, Polestar is up 8%, give or take. Market's been open about 20 minutes. A lot of volume though, so 2.9 million shares have been traded, 7.6 is the average. And one thing as well I just wanted to share with you, based on my last video, I did say that a lot of the volume being done is linked to algorithmic trading as well as shorting. This time around, still no different, but you do see somewhat institutions paying attention to it. So these are some of the transactions that have occurred on the secondary market above $100,000. So still not all that much, but at least they're paying attention to it. And probably this has to do with just at this price, risk versus reward is very much in favor of upside. And possibly the reasons why it is going down just isn't really justified to some regard. So I'm going to go over everything. And plus, on a side note, probably a lot of institutions are scouring the broader market for value plays. And as I've said, you do not get more discounted than Polestar. Looking at the PS ratio, currently it is 0.6, future is 0.4. So the market is not anticipating absolutely anything to come from Polestar in the foreseeable future. So kind of interesting dynamic, but then again, the market's always really hated Polestar from the get-go. A couple of things. So there was this PR that came out first thing. So Polestar expects to publish its full year 2023 and first quarter 2024 results by the end of June. So in reality, yeah, that's good that they are addressing it. Also, on a side note, Thomas did post a video, so I'm going to talk about that in a second, but that's good. But still, by the end of June, not the best. Because by them not submitting their earnings, that's pretty much the sole reason why it is going down. A lot of people are speculating, and somewhat rightfully so, what exactly they could be hiding. How many skeletons are in their closet, and are they even good? Like, is their balance sheet okay? What is wrong with Polestar? So that's just kind of what Wall Street is thinking about. So not necessarily the best, but still on a positive note, they are kind of addressing it. So I wanted to play this as well. So it's about 2.5 minutes. So Thomas does actually address their lateness on there and talks on recent expansion due to tariffs and whatever else. So I just wanted to play this, and then I'll move on to a lot of the data points and everything else that you need to know.
Hi, I've just returned from the global media test drives of Polestar 3 and Polestar 4, where our cars receive highly positive feedback on both the design and the performance. I would like to take this opportunity here to address and provide clarity on some topics that have made recent headlines. Firstly, regarding the filing of our 2023 annual results. As previously reported, we identified certain errors in our audited 2021 and 2022 accounts. These predominantly predate our Nasdaq listing and are expected to have an impact of less than 5% in each respective year, positively in one, negatively in the other. We are dedicating the necessary time and efforts to correct them, in collaboration with our auditors. We're making good progress and expect to publish the annual results for 2023 and the Q1 results for 2024 by the end of June. Throughout this period, we maintained open communication with our lending banks and have secured their understanding and continued support. Secondly, the topic of expanded tariffs on imports to the US. The decision to globalize our production footprint with contract manufacturing around the world is a decision we took already 3 years ago. The Polestar 3 starts production in South Carolina during this summer, with cars for both North America and Europe to be manufactured there. Polestar 4 is already in production, and additional manufacturing is set to begin in South Korea in the second half of 2025, initially for the North American market. Our ability to adapt and utilize our global footprint is a significant differentiator. So, In summary, we are allocating the necessary resources, completing the formalities, and ensuring the successful launch of our two great SUVs. This makes us confident in the future of Polestar, and I believe that the value of our business will become increasingly evident and recognized in the coming months. Thank you.
So yeah, pretty good stuff. The only negative, it does say, as well as expanding tariffs on imports. So they talked on expansion, didn't really talk on kind of the tariffs that's associated to that, unless I might have missed that, but let me know your thoughts on that. Moving on, shorts are currently increasing 157,000 shares, 28.54 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost of borrow average is 18.42, utilization is 82.49, and it doesn't actually update. I think Ortex is somehow glitching for whatever reason. I don't understand the basis of that. Maybe it has to do with just them not submitting their earnings and is somehow glitching Ortex, but it doesn't show NA, or it doesn't show the short interest. So roughly it is higher, at least, than around 13%. So regarding that, it's at all-time highs. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. Moving on, looking at options activity so far. So like I said, the market's been open about 20 minutes, give or take. 12,000 in calls and 118 in puts. 69% of all the options being done today are optimistic and bullish. But then again, especially with shorts increasing their position and based on the dollar value that's being done so far, it is fair to assume that it's shorts hedging their bets. Looking at some of the call options that are being purchased, there's a consensus for it to be above $1 by, looks like, July the 19th. So kind of a fairly good thing for that. And then looking at puts, no real activity for that. So I've already brought up, as far as institutions buying, both on the secondary market, these are the ones from the dark pool. So a little bit more popular as usual, but then again, that is linked often enough to shorting as well as larger institutions. And since my last video, there hasn't been any recent analyst ratings. So last one was still done 16 days ago, and prior to that was last month. Regarding that though, it does show a consensus of $3.14, and that does represent a 256% upside from these prices. So kind of positive stuff when it comes down to that. So let me know your thoughts. And moving on though, just to go over the actual technicals itself. So with that at 82 cents and change, it is right on this S3. So Polestar, like I said, has been absolutely slaughtered. So even based on a technical standpoint, it is outside the boiling band. So unless there's a justified reason for it to be there, like usually you see a kind of a value run. And so I think that's what kind of happened today. So PCE numbers came out better than anticipated, as well as with Thomas's video from today. I think a lot of that is fueling some optimism, causing Polestar to get higher. So one point to really watch for is just to get over that 82.6 cent mark. And then if it does get above that, then in reality, probably within the next 2 weeks, you should see that $1 or in excess of $1 kind of being hit. So let me know your thoughts on that. But like I said, on the actual chart itself, it is still considered very oversold. So it is at roughly about 6 stochastic. Number of retail investors are buying today. So over the last couple of trading days, you've seen a good level of consolidation. So this is where, in theory, you should see a nice push higher. Again, it'd really help if Polestar put out their earnings as well as maybe some positive operational updates. Then that could really cause it to get to that $1 range. But like I said, based on the volume, it's at least getting the attention of larger institutions and whatever else. So let me know your thoughts. Give yourself a shout out in the comments if you have been buying, if you've been selling, what have you been doing with Polestar. One final thing I just wanted to share with you. Take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 7 fractional shares of the 𝗪𝗧7. So a pretty kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.